Over 5,000 hours on the track and nearly 1,000 hours of coaching has showed me one thing. Mastering any track with any car isn't just about memorizing braking points or following the right racing line. It's much more than that. This channel is based on competitive racing, and this guide will go into what it really takes to go and become one of the top 1% of all of the drivers out there. I will also share common mistakes that I've seen during my coaching sessions, such as oversteering, braking too late, or even accelerating too soon. We'll dissect these issues, explain why they happen, and more importantly, how to fix them. So let's start with the foundations, understanding what makes or breaks a lap. At the core of every fast lap is grip, your car's connection to the track. But here's the tricky part. How do you know if you're using enough grip or overstepping it? Here's what they do. This is where the friction circle comes in. Think of it as a simple way to visualize how much of your car's grip is being used on acceleration, braking, or turning. The goal is to maximize the grip without exceeding its limits. So let's have a little look at that example once again. See how the tires lose grip as the driver forces the car to turn too sharply. This overloads the front tires, triggering understeer and forcing the ABS to activate. The result is just a loss of time and inefficient cornering. But how can we fix it? Focus on smoother transitions between turning and braking. The idea is to let the car flow through the corners rather than fight against it. And here's actually how to do it in practice. Notice how the driver gradually releases the brakes while turning, maintaining control without overloading his tires. This balance is key to extracting the maximum grip and speed from your car. By mastering grip dynamics and avoiding common mistakes like oversteering or even braking too late, you'll set the stage for consistent and fast lap times. And this brings us to the next crucial piece of the puzzle, which is creating a checklist for every corner. Now that you understand the importance of grip and balance, let's talk about building a checklist for pretty much every corner. This isn't just about memorizing braking points, it's about developing a system you can apply to any car or any track out there. And don't get me wrong, braking points are still one of the most important parts of racing, and without them, racing would be much more difficult. So let's have a look at this example. Now you can see how much time I'm losing by the end of the straight in the same car. The goal is to sacrifice a bit of speed on the way into the corner to get the best possible exit onto the straight, which will then again lead to bigger time gain by the end of the straight. So now we know what line to take and also what is the goal of that specific turn. So sacrifice a bit of speed on the way in, and of course try to get as much speed as you possibly can on the way out. As they say it's slow in and fast out. And we can say that we already have the crucial elements of the checklist. And this is when to start braking, and the most important part, what is the main goal of a specific section. Which of course leads us to the next few steps that I really wanted to include into this checklist. And that is when to start turning and also which line to take into the corner. Now you can notice how the driver adjusts the braking and turning points to hit the apex perfectly, then transitions smoothly into acceleration. And the emphasis is on smoothly. Of course, by incorporating this checklist into your laps, you'll gain a deeper understanding of what makes each corner unique. And you will start to be more consistent and of course faster over time. Now let's take this checklist we just built and make it adaptable. Every car and track introduces new variables, and if you cannot adjust, you'll never unlock the full potential of your car. Here is the challenge: braking points turning angles, and of course apex speeds all change depending on your car's characteristics and of course the track conditions. This is why it's so difficult to adapt to hard tires. While taking the soft seems like an easy task, it's simply because the softer tires can forgive more, while hard tires need a bit more understanding of your car's dynamics. This is an example of sacrificing speed into the corner to get the faster exit out of the whole section. Notice how the driver deliberately slows down on entry. That's because a long straight rewards a strong exit. By prioritizing exit speed, the driver will gain that precious time by the end of the straight. But we can also notice one crucial segment that we also need to add into the checklist, and that is weight transfer. If you don't know what weight transfer is, during acceleration, weight transfers to the rear of the car, compressing the rear suspension and of course increasing the traction of the rear tires while reducing the grip and responsiveness of the front. On the opposite side, during braking, the weight shifts forward, compressing the front suspension and increasing the front tire grip, but it's also reducing the rear stability as the rear suspension unloads. The easiest way to explain it would be to have a look at the angle and the position of the car while braking and also while starting the turn. Here is a good example of one of my best laps and how to properly execute this. And as you can see, the car starts trail braking into the corner while utilizing the full width of the track. But most importantly, the brakes are slowly released as the turning increases, enhancing the grip of the front tires. And of course, by using the full width of the track, we are increasing the diameter of the corner and helping the car carry more speed through the whole section and eventually get a faster exit. If you're enjoying this content so far, consider liking or maybe even subscribing to the channel, which I said consider subscribing if you think this is a good video. And after watching these examples, here are 5 essential things that we need to master in every single turn. First of all, we need to know what is the specific goal of a specific section. So more speed on the way in, or is it more speed on the way out of the corner? We also need to know where to brake. This seems simple, but it's not just about picking the right point of the track. The braking point depends on the car's weight distribution, it also depends on the tire grip, and it also depends on the weather conditions. But of course, finding a stationary mark on the track always helps with consistency. It is also very important when to start turning. The turning point is just as important as braking. If you turn too early, you'll most likely overshoot the apex. Too late and you'll sacrifice exit speed. That's why it's so important to find a stationary mark in every single turn. The right line, of course, is one of the most important things. The racing line isn't just about hugging the inside of the corner or maximizing track width. Each corner has a specific purpose, whether it's setting the car for the straight or transitioning into the next corner. And I believe the most important part is, think of sections rather than corners alone. Before braking, you need to align your car at the correct angle. This ensures you're not fighting the car into the corner and losing precious time on entry. But of course, the apex is your crucial marker. Your minimum speed should occur there, and your acceleration should precisely begin at that point to maximize your exit speed. So what are the takeaways? Every car and track demands a unique approach, but the principles will remain the same. Focus on braking and turning smoothly, hitting the apex, and of course, maximizing exit speed. Once you understand why the fastest drivers take those certain lines, you'll know how to adapt to any car, any track, and of course, any conditions out there. Now that we've covered the core principles, let's talk about fine-tuning process. Let's revisit a couple of key concepts. The apex. The apex isn't just the middle of the corner, it's your guide to optimizing speed and control. The goal is to reach the apex at the minimum speed, then begin accelerating smoothly from there. But what if you are missing it? So here is the checklist. If you're braking too early, if you're slowing down the car too soon, you'll miss the apex and carry too little speed through the corner. Adjust by moving your braking point slightly later. On the other hand, braking too late, overshooting the corner. Your braking point is too late. Your turning point needs refinement, so just try to brake a little bit sooner. If your car feels unbalanced or your tires lose grip in the middle of the corner, focus on your angle. A smoother, more deliberate approach to the corner can make all of the difference. Here's an example on how to actually do it. Notice how hitting the apex perfectly allows for a clean and of course a fast exit. This consistency doesn't come from luck, it's all from preparation. But refining your craft isn't just about the apex, it's also about understanding the purpose of each section. Is the goal to maximize the speed for the straight? Or is it just positioning yourself for the next corner, which again leads to a shorter straight? Reverse engineer the track, focus on what the section demands, and of course adapt your inputs accordingly. And finally, don't underestimate the power of repetition. Trial and error will eventually help you to find the optimal braking, turning, and acceleration point for any car and any track. And of course, one more tip. Listen to your tires. The sound they make, whether it's a screech or silence, are your car's way of telling if you're pushing too hard or not enough. And if you would like to take your skills to the next level, check out my online course where I break down these techniques in even greater depth. Once again, thank you very much for watching the video, and if you liked it, you can consider pressing that like button, or you might even want to subscribe to the channel. So guys, once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.